we've now got 31 gold medals. Thank you very much. And I always still just like to say David Austin has only got 30 gold medals.
Hello everyone, welcome back to a north facing garden. In today's video I'm doing something different. I have come to visit the Peter Beales Rose Center. They're having an event today and I will take you along with me to see how fantastic this garden will be. I have seen it a lot on YouTube as well, and I've been looking forward to actually paying a visit, so come along with me. Considered one of Britain's most special rose gardens, with thousands of roses and rare varieties and spectacular displays, Peter Beales Rose in Norfolk has built a reputation that attracts visitors from all over the country. But does it live up to the hype? We'll find out together. This isn't just a nursery, it's a historic showcase of roses from different eras, a mix of colors, fragrance, and styles, and together we'll be exploring what makes this place so special. There is good, ample parking space with clearly marked disability access to the entrance, and in fact, eventually I found out that the garden is actually pretty accessible for wheelchairs and prams. Peter Beales became famous for preserving old and historic roses. Many of these varieties have fascinating stories behind them, with some dating back generations. Upon entry, there is a wide area where gift items are sold, which is standard for most of the UK garden centres. There's some confectionery items, indoor plants, as well as the entrance to the Rosarium restaurant, where a selection of sandwiches, sweet treats, and hot meals are sold. There's a large selection of annuals, vegetables, and perennials on display. The first thing that strikes you once you get into the rose area is every direction you look, there's another burst of color. It doesn't feel like a formal garden, and there are surprises around every corner. Some of the roses are huge and dramatic, some are delicate and subtle, each one with its own character. There's a wide array of rose ground cover, shrub roses, hybrid tea, floribunda roses, I particularly like the standard roses with the weeping type appearance. I think there was a ballerina, crimson shower, Chevy Chase, and these were quite beautiful. I also have to mention that we were currently in the middle of a heat wave, so most of the blooms appear to have been scorched by the extremes of the temperature. However, there were groundskeepers and gardeners constantly deadheading as well as watering. One of my favorite features here is the collection of the rose-covered arches. The arches were incredible, and there's just a nice photo opportunity and probably some of the most Instagram-worthy spots in the garden. The first arch was a rose called New Dawn. It's a rambling rose, but it was mostly out of its first flush here. Isn't this spectacular? This was not labeled, but I believe it's a rose called Super Fairy. It was covered in blooms from the top to bottom, and they were just delicate little clusters of tiny flowers which was dangling from the pergola. And from every angle, it was just beautiful to look at. It's not fragranced, but it was a very spectacular display. And despite the heat wave, it's holding up pretty well.
The rose arches were spectacular and just kept going on and on. I have to confess, there's something so spectacular that cannot be captured by the video. It's the fragrance throughout the garden. Sweet smell from every angle. It was just a very magical place to be. Recall I mentioned Peter Beales was famous for collecting old roses. However, during the visit, most of the roses appear to have passed their flush. A lot are once flowering, and so I couldn't show you much of that. Also, the rose tour turned out there was more people than anticipated, and I sort of wasn't patient, so I did wander about on my own. So, is Peter Beales worth a visit? Absolutely, for dedicated gardeners, and for photographers, definitely. There's a lot of Instagram worthy backgrounds, and if you're simply looking for a day out, there's plenty to enjoy here as well as the restaurant. Personally, the variety, atmosphere, and the sheer beauty, that is easily one of the standard rose destinations I've visited so far, and I would definitely recommend. The only advice is you need to time your visit for the flush. Particularly this year was a bit tricky because of the heat wave, but I didn't regret my visit.
A lot less pesticides and things like that. So there's just a few selections that look out for, that that we will be launching in the next few years. This is quite an exciting one, a nice red. We spotted that about 3 years ago, and it's now just coming out to prove itself. It is scented, and the flowers, as you can see, it was in a pot. It needed a little bit more water, but it's a big blousy flower. So, and this year we got a gold medal, so we've now got 31 gold medals. Thank you very much. And I always still just like to say David Austin has only got 30 gold medals. And then sitting down, who's done a wonderful talk a little while
And of
ago.
course, it wouldn't be a garden center visit if I didn't walk away with the rose. Here I have chosen Chevy Chase, and I will do an update for it sometimes in the future. Thank you for watching if you made it to the end.